Support comes from Sunday Morning Cafe, founded by researcher, speaker, and therapist Dr. Tom Wagner, offering many retreats with live music and online resources to build resilience and community. SundayMorningCafe.com.
This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio. I'm Danny Wysentowski. Earlier this month, over 100 singers assembled on stage in downtown St. Louis. They were there for the International Chorus Championship, the highlight of the Barbershop Harmony Society International Convention. For the members of the Ambassadors of Harmony, a chorus based in St. Charles, it wasn't their first experience at such a high-stakes competition. But this performance, which ultimately won that championship, it was special. They were singing, after all, for their hometown.
Barbershop!
That was a sample from the Ambassadors of Harmony's championship-winning performance of the Muskrat Ramble earlier this month. And you can hear the harmonies at work. But how exactly do these layers of sound come together, and how does a group with more than 100 voices go about building one? So last week, several members of the Ambassadors of Harmony came to our studio to show us how their voices work together, separately, and in unison, and to demonstrate something called a tag. They were led by Ambassadors of Harmony co-director Jonny Moroni, who you'll hear in just a moment, explaining how to create a harmony, voice by voice.
Back in my hometown.
That is classic 4-part barbershop harmony that you heard right there. So that is an example of a tag. And as I mentioned before, tags are such an important part of our culture and community because it does award us the opportunity to sing together. After we get done with our chorus rehearsals with the ambassadors, we head to a local pub called Pio's, and we have a beer and pizza and literally sing tags. Once they kick us out at midnight, we'll go stand on the curb and sing till 1:30 or 2 in the morning doing what you just heard there. So what we say maybe the most important part is the melody singer. And one unique attribute about barbershop is that it actually lies in the second voice part. So usually a lot of popular music, the highest tenor voice usually carries the melody. In barbershop, it's a little different. So Austin, would you sing the lead line so we can hear the melody of this tag, and we'll start to glue them together.
Back in my home town.
Very cool. So that is the melody. So that's something that we would teach. Austin nails it. But then we need to have the bass, the foundation for the rest of the quartet to hang on to. So we'll have Mike sing the bass part and then glue these parts together.
Back in my home town.
Beautiful, easy peasy. Why don't we glue those two parts together so you can actually hear a duet between the lead singer and the bass singer.
Back in my home town.
So you can hear those beautiful harmonies start to come into play. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to add our tenor singer, who is the one that resides above the lead voice. And so, Stephen, go ahead and sing the tenor part.
Back in my home town.
There it is. So that's the tenor part. So why don't we put these 3 parts together, and you'll hear harmony in there, but you'll also probably hear that it doesn't sound totally complete.
Back in my home town.
Perfect. Beautiful harmony, but there's one part missing. And I sing this part, so I'm biased thinking that it's the best, most important part, which is the baritone. And the baritone resides between the lead singer and the bass singer and is often looked at as the glue that kind of combines and makes a barbershop quartet whole. So Keegan, sing your part by itself. It's very strange and unique.
Back in my home town.
Very good. So really unique individual part that the baritone has, but when you glue it all together, we now get the satisfaction of 4-part harmony in a barbershop quartet.
Back in my home town.
And that was Michael Bass, Austin Stevens, Stephen Vanderberg, and Keegan Ike, members of the Ambassadors of Harmony Barbershop Chorus, demonstrating a tag and the power of their voices. And to continue our conversation about Barbershop Chorus and the Ambassadors of Harmony winning their recent international championship, I'm joined now by Jonny Moroni, the group's co-director, and who you just heard leading that tag. Jonny, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate you having us. It's really exciting.
And also with me is another veteran performer and member of the Ambassadors of Harmony. He was a key part of the musical and artistic team that created this winning performance that we're going to learn about in a little bit. He also happens to be Jonny's brother, Blake Moroni. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here. Wow, that's quite an intro.
So Blake, Jonny, let's talk a bit about what we just heard, this unit of musical appreciation, the tag. Why is this so special to Barbershop, Jonny?
Well, it's a part of the history of what I think makes Barbershop really unique. And I claim to be an avid tag singer, right? There's those of us that learn hundreds of tags and are able to teach all 4 parts. And as I said in the clip earlier, it has become such an important part of not just the ambassadors community, but barbershop around the world, because as we see our friends and even people we don't know walking down the lobby or the hallway, we can see what part they sing on their badge. Hey, there's a baritone, grab that guy. And you can quickly teach them that part. And so it just gives you this amazing experience of singing with those you have no idea where they're from, what their background is, socially. It doesn't matter. We're just there to sing 4-part harmony together. And tags allow us to do that quickly and efficiently, and it's highly rewarding.
Yeah, Jonny has a saying in the Barbershop Harmony Society is Jonny One Moroni. So he wants to sing one more tag.
Yeah. Well, our last name is last name is Moroni, so they came up with Jonny One Moroni because one more tag. We need to do one more tag.
Blake, what does it take to be a good tag, partner or member? Is Blake a good or bad one, or is Jonny a good tag partner, or does he take things over?
Yeah, no, he's a great tag teacher. You gotta have a little patience when you're trying to teach these tags to 3 other individuals at one time. Sometimes some beers are involved too, so the learning curve's a little steep there. But he's excellent teaching tags, and it's a huge part of our culture as barbershoppers.
If I was out late at night at 2 a.m. outside of a bar and I saw a bunch of barbershop guys just singing, I would be confused, but definitely entertained. I understand, Blake, that you got involved in this group, kind of following in Jonny's footsteps, but also, being drawn by some of this great music and what you can do with your own voice.
Yeah, I was reluctant at first. I didn't know exactly what Jonny was up to. I thought back in the day he wanted to be a barber cutting hair, but come to find out it was actually barbershop singing. So yeah, it took me a little while to warm up to it. I thought it was kind of this is kind of nerdy and dorky, but after a few years, I just got completely hooked on it. So I have him to thank for that, and our grandparents too, that kind of laid the foundation for us to get involved.
Yeah, I mean that's where I always think about the domino effect of like something that happened in life that a domino, I think all of us can relate to, an idea or a moment or a relationship that completely altered the trajectory of our lives. And that domino for me was when my grandparents, I saw something on TV, a barbershop quartet or a cappella group, and I mentioned something to my parents about it. And I was really into athletics, and I was the young jock and all this. I was like, hey, Mom, I saw this thing on TV about barbershop or a cappella. And my mom was like, well, of course, yeah, your grandparents, they go to the Ambassadors of Harmony Christmas show every year. Why don't you go with them? And so I went with them, with my grandparents. I was the youngest one there. The curtain opened, and there was the Ambassadors of Harmony, and my jaw hit the floor. I joined the very next week, and that was near 30 years ago. So I owe a debt of gratitude to my grandparents for bringing me along to the Ambassadors Christmas show.
And Blake, you came along a little bit later.
Yeah, but 5 or 6 years later, I had to warm up to it a little bit.
Yeah, but you've been there only 20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, 20 plus years.
Well, Blake, as we would drive to school together every day, and like when I got the barbershop bug, I mean, I was obsessed. Like it was playing all the time. I was fall asleep listening to it. Like I fell in love with it. And so Blake, I'd be cranking this barbershop music with the windows down, driving
7:15 a.m. on the way to school.
So Blake was, he was like, I don't know if this is for me, but I think what he did find, and what I think is really important to recognize is, we always say, hey, you come for the music, like the music kind of attracts you to it, but it's the community aspect, the relationships that are fostered, as I think is why people stick around. It's an amazing, wonderful culture that we have, not only in the Ambassadors, but just barbershop in general seems to attract wonderful characters. So it's been a beautiful thing.
Blake, what hooked you about this?
Ooh, I would say probably the community. It's very unique. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's just the most wonderful community that, I have friends throughout the entire world that I can, if I'm traveling in Europe, I can just call a barbershop friend up, crash on their couch if I want to. It's just something about what Jonny was saying. Just the community is incredible. So that was a huge hook for me. It's very unique. And I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah, and it's brought people from all over the world. It brought them right here. And we're going to talk more about that performance in just a little bit, but we're first going to take a quick break. But we're going to come back shortly to this conversation about the Ambassadors of Harmony, Barbershop Chorus, and we're going to hear some more of that great singing and music. This is St. Louis on the Air on St. Louis Public Radio.
Support comes from Gemma, architects, planners, and designers seeking to bring joy to their clients and communities. Details at gemastl.com.
Welcome back. I'm Danny Wysentowski in for Elaine Cha. And today I'm talking with members of the Ambassadors of Harmony Barbershop Chorus. They recently won an international competition that was held right here in St. Louis. And I'm joined here in studio with Jonny Moroni. He's the co-director of the group, and his brother and a longtime performer with the group, Blake Moroni. So we talked a bit about this championship that just happened a couple weeks back. You performed together with about 100 plus other people a song called the Muskrat Ramble. I want to talk a little bit about this selection because there's a lot of layers to this. Blake, how did you first hear this song?
I think if Jonny could probably take this one.
Yeah, Jonny, where did this song come into you?
It's an old classic.
It's actually an old class. It's an old classic, kind of ragtimey type song, but it's very familiar in the barbershop circles. Lots of arrangements have been created of this song called the Muskrat Ramble, and it's an uptune, upbeat, very snappy type song, and one of our arrangers within the Ambassadors named David Wright, who arranges most of our music, brilliant musician, whenever he gets an idea, he's like, I got this idea for this song. So he brought that to us, and then we altered and tweaked the lyrics and came up with something that really showcased that the international contest was here in St. Louis, is what the theme of the song is wrapped around. And
it seemed like this is a song that everybody has heard in some way, or it's almost a stereotypical barbershop song. Do I have that right, Blake?
I would think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take a listen to some of this arrangement of a very old song that got a lot of new pieces with this performance. Let's listen to a bit of this Muskrat Ramble.
Moving, shuffling down, meeting and greeting and buzzing around, singing a tag with other people they found, waiting in line of registration. Everyone gathers round the rising quartet. They're gonna make it to the 20, I bet. Harmony flows from everywhere. Happiness is in the air. They all play that muskrat ramble tune. We ramble all around the place with happiness on every face. Hold down one and two. Come join this happy throng. Feel the beat of that rambling, scrambling muskrat song. Come on, ramble along. Ramble along. Folks all gather from everywhere just to croon all day and night. Elevator tags and lobby tags, they're big and loud and bright. And stairwell tags and parking lot tags and some by David Wright. And crosswalk tags and rooftop tags and Uber tags and taxi tags and airplane tags and bathroom tags and shower tags. We all love tags.
And that is a cut of the performance of the Muskrat Ramble from the Ambassadors of Harmony. And I can hear you all singing about how much you love tags.
Yes, tags.
It's a thing.
That, I mentioned the layers to this. This song is both, it has that traditional parts of the original song, but it's also all about tags. It's also kind of a review of the convention itself. Where did some of these layers come in, Jonny and Blake? How did you decide what to keep traditional and what to put a new spin on?
Yeah, I mean that's where I think we have as I said in before, when we get done with our regular rehearsals on Thursday night, we go to this place called Pio's, which is where all the magic happens. It's where the ideas are thrown around, the creative nuances of the set, even the songs we want to do.
More beer and bourbon.
We're having a beer. But so when you ask, we took this traditional song, and we know we wanted to highlight the fact that the international contest was here in St. Louis, which has been the first time, I believe, since maybe 1984, something pretty close to that. So I mean, it's been a long time, and we said we should highlight this, And so that's when the ideas started, the gears started turning about how can we take this kind of traditional barbershop song and manipulate it and tweak it and I say enhance it so that it really highlights what it's like going to a barbershop convention, what it's like to sing tags with friends. And we had visually we had all these banners that represented St. Louis, we had the arch in the background, so visually it was as equally visually stimulating as it was vocally and audio.
And we will have the link to this, the video performance of this in full on our website and the story when that is up. And there is a ton that is happening on stage with more than 100 people. Blake, I know you worked a bit about the choreography of how to move this number of people with all those voices. How did you go about doing this?
Well, let me preface this that Jonny and I have no background in choreography. We did not graduate from Juilliard.
You really could have fooled me.
So if you watch the video,
amazing.
please don't judge us too harshly. But it basically comes down to once we receive the music, the learning tracks, we'll go to Jonny's house, usually in the basement, and just record ourselves on our iPhones. It's ridiculous if these videos ever got out to public of what we do and how we create the visuals for it. But it somehow comes together, and when the stars align, you can win a contest. But the choreography and visual is just one component. There's 3 categories in the judging system, so it's performance, music, and singing. So I kind of oversee just 1/3 of what it takes, to get points into hopefully win a contest.
One thing that really stood out to me about this performance is the length of these sustained harmonies. They're almost unbearable. Like the fact that they finally resolve.
Yeah.
How do you put those together? Do you drive yourself crazy trying to figure out how long do we hold this note? Will the crowd begin to burn the theater if we don't drop this a bit?
Yeah, so one of the funniest
things... It's the bass drop in
really
EDM,
is.
So one of the things that we did in this, in singing tags, they're in musical terms, there's called resolution, right? Where something feels like it's suspended and needs to resolve. And we kind of played that. Some of the barbershop tags we sing have these suspensions where, all right, I'm going to hold it and then I'm going to resolve to the final chord. record, and we kind of took liberties and made it almost obnoxious of how long we held one of those suspensions, keeping the audience, because all barbershoppers kind of know that sound and how that's going to resolve, and we, I think, exploited that on the contest stage.
Just a little bit.
I did get a sense that there is so much technical talent and so much familiarity. You're really performing in a way for the most specific of judges. Are there tactics or are there things that you're trying to show this audience, maybe a flex, maybe to show, yeah, we can do this?
A tactic is being friends with the judges. No.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, yes, there are judges at the contest for sure. And there are things that we do that say, okay, we know that will, that might get us some points. But if I'm being honest, it's really a byproduct of what I think is most important to us as musicians is what do we do that's going to have the greatest impact on the audience, right? Because at the end of the day, the judges are audience members as well. They may have a pencil or a pen in their hand making some notes and jotting down scores, but we feel that if we can present our music as proficient as possible, all that does, so when we have, when we're singing the right vowels together, we're turning the word sounds together, we breathe together, all those things, the more proficient we can be at that, the less disruptive the message is, right? Meaning we want the message to be crystal clear as it comes off the stage into the audience. And if we have sync issues and people are breathing different and we're out of tune, those are all disruptors to the message. And so it's a long-winded way of saying we work really hard. We'll spend 30 or 40 minutes on a 15-second section of the song to make sure that it's as clear and pristine as possible so that when we deliver it, the audience can do nothing but just sit and relax and enjoy the message coming across the stage.
And I think we have a great example of that kind of precision. We have another selection coming up from a different song that you performed at the competition. Let's take a listen to it now.
Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. Oh, time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. My love, are you still mine? Still mine. I need your love. Oh, I need your love. Godspeed your love to
And that was Unchained Melody, of course, from the Righteous Brothers originally. This was one of the ballads you performed as part of Ambassadors of Harmony. Blake, I want to ask you, and in our last couple of moments, I understand we talked a bit about the judges. You had these different selections. When the points finally came down, y'all won by 1 point.
Yeah, that was, I think, the closest in the history of...
There'd be close ones.
Yeah.
We've been in...
Well, the closest were for me.
Yeah, it's probably for you. Yeah, I was in a little bit before Blake, but yeah, this came down to out of 2,800 points where we won by one point.
What was that like to hear that decision come down?
I think
stressful.
I think I disassociated when the call-off was happening between second and first place. So it was incredible.
It's a wonderful thing because, at the end of the day, the beautiful thing, again, going back to the culture, even though, yes, we compete against each other, we are such close friends with so many other people within the competing courses that we compete against. And the beautiful thing is, regardless of outcome, we're all drinking beer, hanging out, singing tags together afterwards. So even though we did win by 1 point, which is a wonderful thing and an honor, it's great to still be amongst a community where we just celebrate music together.
We just heard, time can change so much. You've been in this artistry for a while. What is changing about Barbershop Chorus? What stood out to you as you saw all these other groups come in? I know there was a women's group that won for the first time. What is new about something that is a very old artistic practice?
That's a great question. And like I said, myself being in it for nearly 30 years, the past 7 to 10 years have been really exciting, where the Barbershop Harmony Society used to be a male-only organization, and we did expand that to be all-inclusive. So we're all voices, and we have mixed quartets now. We have mixed choruses. This spawned the opportunity for the Ambassadors of Harmony and our parent organization called Harmony STL. So under that umbrella, we have the Ambassadors of Harmony. We have a treble chorus called the Visions of Harmony. We have a youth chorus, which is mixed with both co-ed, youth chorus. So it is, when you say what has changed, all sorts of things have changed. I say for the better, because it's just more music, more community, more opportunities for mixed voices. And as you referenced, we had an all-female quartet won the International Quartet Contest, which has never happened before, ever. So it's been, St. Louis was definitely an iconic year in our organization.
Yeah, very much.
And Blake, if someone's listening to this and wondering, what does it take to join a chorus? What kind of voice do you have to have? How many degrees do I need? What would you tell someone who's exploring this?
Well, hey, I have no background in choreo, but here I am. So I just say, come on out. So you can find information about the Ambassadors of Harmony by visiting aoh.org. All the audition process and information's on our site, but just come on out. We have teachers, attorneys, plumbers. I mean, you name it. I'm in marketing as my day job. So, if you can carry a tune, and if you're interested, just, visit us. Come out here. We rehearse on Thursdays from 7 to 10 p.m. And then afterwards, like Jonny said, you go to PO's.
Tag time.
Tag time at PO's.
As Blake said, we have 120 singers. I bet 10, maybe 15 make a profession of music. The rest of us are just regular dudes hanging out and get together on a Thursday night and make great music together and really enjoy each other's company. So it's a wonderful thing. If it's something that you're interested in and want to check out, please visit aoh.org. We're always looking for new wonderful singers, and we hope you come visit us sometime.
Jonny Moroni is the co-director of the Ambassadors of Harmony, and Blake Moroni is his brother and a longtime performer and person with that group. The group recently won its 6th International Chorus Championship at the Barbershop Harmony Society International Convention.
This episode was produced by Danny Wissentowski.
Audio engineering and podcast design by Aaron Dorr.
Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations, and leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thank you.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri St. Louis.
Hi, I'm Laura Hamden, and my colleague Jessica Rogan and I are your daily hosts of the Gateway newsletter. We meet with the editors in the STLPR newsroom every weekday to bring you the top local stories of the day in a quick and easy 6-minute read by 6 a.m. In an age of overwhelm, it's a refreshing, thoughtful take on the news day, if we do say so ourselves. Fine-tune your daily news habit with the Gateway newsletter. Subscribe at stlpr.org/gateway.